Another thing that I wanted to make a comment on is, how many hours of media are you watching, right? I do think that everyone should, as a former journalist, I do believe that everyone should be up to date as much as possible on, best practices in staying healthy and things like that. Same goes with the not just the world, but also like your health, your family, your business, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? I think that you should constantly be spending a little bit of time every week at a minimum and making sure that your best case, you're up to date on those things, right? That being said, you said 2 hours of media consumption. I want people to recognize that how the media cycle actually is created in many cases, right? So have you ever been in your car for an hour-long trip, and that trip, you hear the same song 3 times? The reason why is because these media organizations have recognized through their data that people are changing the channel every 20 minutes, right? Or they're tuning in and tuning out every 20 minutes, which means if you stay on that station for 1 total hour, you're going to hear the same thing from a repetition standpoint. The more repetition is an extremely important thing in the world of branding and marketing. And so if you watch that thing for 2 hours, you've gone through 6 cycles, which really starts to become a self-fulfilling prophecy to scare the living daylights out of you. Same goes if you hear our message and I say the same thing for 6 times over 2 hours. That's an incredibly powerful thing for me as well, if I'm just trying to sell you something on this show, right? And so if you continue to consume basically the exact same message over and over and over again, it becomes something, it potentially becomes something more than necessary. And so just be cautious on how you consume things, because if it's more of a negative thing, it will frighten you more because you start to believe it because you've, from a frequency standpoint, seen it more.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing you want to do is, if you feel like you're backed up against the wall and the room's dark, the last thing you want to do is keep trying to move further back. You want to try and find new ways to maybe get out of the room. So I mean, the best thing you probably do is go work out, go for a bike ride. I mean, I live a mile from the beach. I'm trying to do that at least every single day. I have to go to the grocery store. All right, well, I'll ride my bike down there. I'll
wash your hands first.
Yeah, absolutely. Spending some time with your family, not just spending time with them, but meaningful ways.
I mean, when was the last time you're seeing ads of people actually say, "Hey, get outside; it's good for you," and you have time to do it? So get out, people.
but I think having a clear head is maybe the first step in making a sound business decision, for sure.